Alright, so let's say you finally buy yourself an S550 Mustang and you want to start modding it, but you don't really know where to start. I got you. This right here is the first 5 mods you should do for your S550 Mustang. Let's get into it. Alright, so before this video starts, I just gotta preface this by saying this is just my opinion. You don't necessarily have to follow this. If I was to rebuild this car all over, this is exactly how I would do it. Alright, so the first mod pretty much everybody does whenever they get a new car or they're just not getting into cars is cold air intake. So a cold air intake is going to be like the easiest mod you're ever going to do on any car. It's just a simple bolt-on. All you got to do is really take out your old air box and you're pretty much good to go. Now if you're looking for horsepower, a cold air intake isn't really going to do much, but it's a good starting point. Number 4, lowering springs or some coilovers. So with this mod, you don't necessarily have to go all in like I did. You don't have to completely slam it on the ground to where you scrape on everything, but if that's your cup of tea, then go for it. So with lowering springs or coils, it not only gives you a more aggressive look, it also gives you slightly better performance when it comes to the track or the drag strip. So whenever you lower your car, you get a lower center of gravity for better handling and better performance. Not only that, it looks amazing. Now whether your budget is a couple $100s or a couple $1,000s, this mod, there's a wide variety of options to choose from. You don't necessarily have to go one extreme or the other. One thing I do have to mention, if you get tired of having your car a little bit too low, then lowering springs probably isn't your thing. You want something that's more adjustable, like coilovers. See, with coilovers, if you get an adjustable set, you can either raise your car or lower your car depending on what you're feeling. And number 3, wheel and tire setup. So a lot of cars nowadays, especially performance cars, have several different options when it comes to wheel and tire setup. See, for my car, I went with the premium pack, so you get a little bit better options when it comes to just say like a base model GT or anything like that. One key difference between my car and a base model GT is the wheel and tire setup I got. So my car, of course, came with the black rims, wrapped in a Pirelli tire, 255 in the front, 275 in the back. Now, for most people, that is good enough. It was good enough for me. But let's say you don't like your stock rims, or you want something, a little bit thicker in the back to give you a little bit better traction. That's where a new set of wheels and tires comes in. Now, just like our last entry, this mod isn't just all performance based, it is also appearance wise. So now whether you're looking for a more aggressive look or a more aggressive performing car, it's really up to you. Alright, so at number 2, I'm gonna go with the personal touch. You see, it feels like nowadays everybody has a Mustang and everybody builds them all the same. I decided to be a little bit different. I want to switch it up. I want to make my car unique. Front, I went with an RTR grille. I don't really see that often, and it's a little bit something different. Everybody always goes with the GT350 front bumper. I was like, you know what, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to be basic. I'm getting an RTR grille. Now, as far as the back goes, the stock spoiler, again, it's good enough. It does the job. But again, I wanted to go something different. I want to go a little bit fancy. And I'm a big fan of carbon fiber. So I actually went with a full carbon fiber spoiler just to switch it up, make my car unique. And honestly, this is the only Mustang I've ever seen that has my exact spoiler. See, with this mod, you can really get creative with it. You don't really necessarily have to limit yourself with anything. There are a wide variety of items you can put on your car to really make it stand out from the crowd, really make it your own, and really just be different from everybody else. Alright, so before I get into the number 1 thing that you should do on your car, I'd just like to mention a couple honorable mentions. So if you're buying from a dealership, almost all of them will do this for you, and that's window tint. So most cars nowadays already come tinted from the factory, but if you're buying from used or your windows just aren't dark enough, you can always go get some window tint. I'm not saying you have to go get 5% like on my car and tint your windshield, but if you want a little bit darker, that's something you should definitely look into. And at number 1, I'm gonna go with exhaust. So again, this is another one of those like little starter mods that everybody always goes with. If you do end up getting a GT, these can already come out the factory with a pretty good rumble, but if you want something more aggressive, then go get yourself a nice little cat bag. Now, if you really want to full send it and you want to maximize not only the sound, but again, performance, I think there's someone coming. Now with this one, whether you want to maximize sound and performance, just like every other mod on this, there is a lower end spectrum and there's also a very high end spectrum. If you really want to send it, you can go get some headers, an X-pipe, and of course a cat bag. Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. You don't necessarily have to follow this list. This is just for the people that need a little bit of an idea when it comes to modding their cars. For almost every single item on this list, there is a wide spectrum. Like I said, on the low end as well as the high end, it just all comes to you, your preference, and of course your budget. Alright, so drop a like if this video was helpful. Comment down below what was one of the first mods you did on your vehicle, and of course subscribe because I make Mustang videos every Monday. This is just for somebody that needs some help, like I do with this YouTube shit.